Aries, where you been? It's your turn. Finally, it's your turn, Aries. Let's see, what does the astrology book say about Aries? Let's see. What does it say? My name is Ginger, by the way, and I'm going to read the tarot for the consciousness of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising signs for the week of August 29 to September 4, 2022. Please take a moment right now and hit that like button. That will really help me grow my channel, and that's the whole point. Takes, not that you care, but it takes a lot of time to do these videos, and unless you have 1,000 subscribers and probably more, I don't even know. People can't afford to do this. So anyway, not that you care. Don't get all hung up about it, okay? All right, so hit that like button. If you're liking these videos, please subscribe. I'd appreciate that too. And further, if you would share them with family and friends who are into this kind of stuff, I would appreciate it, because the guides, I think, are enjoying this and they appreciate it too. Through the end of August, I have a special almost 1/2 price off an hour reading with me on Zoom. And if you go to the description box below the video, you'll find out how to make that kind of an appointment. I would love to read tarot for you, believe me. I would really love it. Okay, so here it says in the Astrological Oracle Cards book about Aries. Aries the Ram, element fire, planetary ruler Mars. Did you know that Mars is the god of war but never went into battle? I just learned that myself. So the motto for Aries is I am. I am. You are the great I am, Aries. You are the natural leader of the zodiac. Aries brings a fiery force of will to every endeavor. The impulse to rush headlong into any situation can bring great success when tempered with reason. But rash impetuosity can lead to hard lessons learned. Aries is dashing, forceful, and a bold risk taker. Yeah, in your day-to-day life, I bet you don't even realize how much you are a bold risk taker. Forget the big picture stuff, but in your day-to-day. Okay, that's all about Aries. So let's get started with a reading for you, Aries. For the consciousness of Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. I guess the guides are saying are feeling pretty playful today too, like me right now. I'm feeling kind of playful. They are too. All right. Wait, I did something to my upper back. Playing ball with the dog. That's probably what did it. All right. Let me get my good posture going. Here we go for Aries. I'm going to pull 3 cards from the ETA Oracle. This Oracle has a lot of really nice cards in it. It also has a lot of really, like, woo, what does that mean kind of cards. But it's all good. I find it to be a kind of truthful deck. That's why I like to use it. All right, here we go. Here we go for Aries. Spirit guides and angels, what do you have for Aries today? What do you have for Aries today? Okay, here we go, Aries. You ready? Anomaly. Well, your hairdo is brings you close to God. So do the balloons. There's no nose, no mouth on this person's face. It looks like kind of a doll. Looks like a rag doll, sort of. Her eyes are kind of glazed over as though she has no pupils. She's got this red and white striped dress on, which looks kind of circusy, and I'm using the circus cards, by the way. And it covers her hands, so it's as though she can't smell, taste, she can't speak, can't see, can't touch. So she's got to go to her 6th sense. So maybe you're in a 6th sense kind of mood today. Ah, grounding. I like this card. This card was painted with the artist used minerals and ground them up to make the paint for this painting. It's really very pretty. It's a nice card. Grounding. In order to go up, you got to be grounded. Oh, slumber. I don't remember pulling this too often. But she also has wings that bring her closer to God. Slumber. All right, let's see what these cards mean. I'll give you the down low on anomaly because I pretty much know it. But I guess I don't know it enough to not have to read it. Yes, the antlers of her hair brings her closer to the sky, making the scene sacred. Surrounding the figure are 5 hot air balloons, which spiritually are symbolic that you have finally reached the end or completion of something in your life. We know that you have. Mind, body, and spirit. The number 5 is often referred to as a number of humanity, like 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5 senses. The striped clothing may signify social deviance. You don't like to be different, do you, Aries? I don't know about that. As a fashion statement, stripes are daring with connotations of boldness and a willingness to test the boundaries of social tolerance. The missing facial features seem to be emphasizing that sense of sight or perception is dominant in the essence of this card, and that the healing element revolves around a change of perspective. Well, when you finish a cycle like Aries has just finished, you would have a change of perspective. Change of perspective or learning to see things as they truly are. Yeah, that can be kind of shocking sometimes. Can be. All right. So we have anomaly. We have grounding. Get grounded. And then, slumber. I have to look up slumber. Grounding. You have to be intentional about grounding. So when I ground, I put my feet on the ground. I drop all attachments I have to people, places, and things. Like I imagine I'm holding a tennis ball in my hand, and I just open my hand and drop it. And then I get quiet, and then I bring Mother Earth's energy up through my feet and into my body, and that's how I get grounded. Just in case you wanted a method. Okay, slumber. There is a box here with a keyhole, and the moon on top, that witchy moon there on top. She's got that black dress on it. She's got some symbolic tattoos on her, and so let's see what this is about. Okay. The inspiration for this card was to create celestial beings from many religions and cultures and amalgamate them into one. Specifically, this is interesting because the card Awake says the same thing. I guess maybe it's the same author. Okay. Specifically from Egyptian, Greek, and Roman mythology, there was also a Sailor Moon and Card of Captors influence. Gods and goddesses of night, darkness, sleep, dreaming, destruction, and death were all drawn from to create the female figure depicted in slumber. Gods and goddesses of night, darkness, sleep, dreaming, destruction, and death were all drawn from to create the female figure depicted in slumber. She's got, so there are runes. Each rune and tattoo has a specific meaning. Centered on her suprasternal notch is the Valknut, a symbol of fertility, rebirth, and reincarnation, showing the connection between earth, heavens, and underworld. On her right forearm, the Sventhorn, sleep thorn, which in the saga of the Volsungs was used by the god Odin to sing the Valkyrie Brynhildr into a slumber. Sleepthorn. There are also several moon and goddess symbols adorning her accessories. This card was meant to be the shadow card to his awake card. Yeah, see? The two cards were, okay. When the card appears in a reading, it's intended to influence the tone of the accompanying cards. Slumber would therefore suggest the connected cards in the reading are more influenced by their shadow elements. Subconscious influences are at play. Or it signifies the current operative realm of the person receiving the reading. Well, Aries has just overcome something major, like they've completed a cycle, major cycle, and it's pretty major. And so you would have a new perspective on life, and it's probably been a week or two now, maybe 3, that this cycle completed. Yesterday was the new moon, by the way. So, if you're having a change of attitude or a change of perspective, it could be because of that new moon. That's when we start new things. And subconsciously, you may recognize that you're relaxed. I'm going to say that you're relaxed, you're grounded, and you're able to smile because you can take time for you. You're probably very much more attuned to your psychic senses right now. Although I think your psychic senses really helped you get through a lot of what you were going through. All right, I'm going to pull a Moonology card. Because yesterday was a new moon, I pulled them out. So let's see what we have for Aries. What do we have for Aries? I have Walter, my dragon, behind me there. I needed some company. So I brought Walter over here. He's good company. Okay, here we go. Be bold and make the first move. Be bold and make the first move. Communication is key. This is underneath grounding. Be bold and make the first move is under that anomaly card. And we're looking at the shadow side. So you're definitely in a phase of healing here. There's no doubt about it. Undergrounding is communication is key. And because it's on the card, it says new moon in Gemini. I'm going to say that listening is a major part of communication. So keep that in mind there, Aries. Oh, and with slumber, a fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. There you go. Wow. A fiery climax approaches. So this is the shadow side. So I'm going to say that you may have like some major aha moments. And some will be really, they'll all be really helpful to you because they are. That's what aha moments are. Some will be positive aha moments. Some will feel negative. Don't be afraid of them. They're not going to hurt you. It's always best to just look at it. It's not going to kill you. Nobody knows what you're seeing. I know that for me, when I'm having major awarenesses about my part in things and how life experiences have affected me, the part I don't like is that it's like, oh my God, people saw me behaving this way based on this perception that I had, and the perception was wrong, and blah, blah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Especially, at this late date, nobody cares. Just change and people care about that. All right, here we go with your reading. I'm using the circus cards because I just knew that, for some reason, I just knew that these readings were going to be a little dark, so I needed to have a little lightheartedness here. These circus cards are very on target, even with their lightheartedness in some of them. Okay, here we go, Aries. Let's go. Let's do this for Aries. Here we go. Eight of Cups, walking away from something you used to love. It's not working for you anymore because you've changed and the person or the place or the thing hasn't changed, so you got to move. You know, it's not your style anymore. We can just put it that way. It's not your way of living anymore. And literally, I think maybe some of you are literally walking away from places that you put a lot of effort into, a lot of places where you expended a lot of your energy and effort. Crossing that is the Five of Wands. You know, when we walk away from things, you know, there's a sense of, you know, there can be a sense of guilt, like, but it's not all your, you know what I mean? It's never all our fault. We may play a part, but we have to look at the big picture. What is the big picture of the situation? Did you do the best you could? I mean, sure, anybody could have done it better. A lot of people could have done it a lot worse. So don't pick on yourself. Right now is not a time to pick on yourself, and this is picking on yourself, I'm going to say. Five of Wands. It's like competition. Competition like between siblings. It's that kind of competition. It's like silly stuff. But it can be harmful. That kind of stuff can be harmful. Don't beat yourself up, Aries, because there's nothing, you know, talk to yourself like you talk to a friend. If they were in the same situation, what would you say to a friend? Because it certainly does apply to you. Absolutely. The reason for the reading is the Ace of Coins. So what I want to say about this for you, Aries, and I think I've said this in a lot of readings, what you were going through and what you've gone through all your life, your entire life, the experiences you've had, how you perceive them, your awakening, because you did have an awakening earlier in your life, like in your late 20s, early 30s, you had an awakening, because we do when we're about 30. We have different, we suddenly get a new map of the world when we're in our 30s. All of the things that you've experienced, the resentments you have in the back of your mind, the guilt feelings you have in the back of your mind, the I'm not good enough feelings, all those shadow kind of feelings, and all the positive feelings. Look at how often you've helped people in a very healthy way for both sides. Look at the relationships in your life today. You know, I think the relationships in the life of Aries today, you've done a lot of culling of people who were kind of emotional vampires, or who, yeah, emotional vampires. They wanted, you had something to offer them, some like a validation of who they were, but they never took it in, so why bother, you know? You need to validate yourself. Self-validation is the best validation there is. But you've culled your family, you've culled friends, and maybe even some family. You're more focused on, what do I need to do right now? Can I relax? You know, because you've been through a lot. You came through a major ordeal that had to do with doing something, not because you wanted to, but because you know what, you really had to. And there are things like that in our lives, like taking care of parents, taking care of your children, working at a job, and during COVID, a lot of your coworkers lost their jobs, so you had to take on more work at the same rate of pay, and you're exhausted, that kind of thing. You got to do it. Sometimes you just have to say, I've got to do it. I hate doing this, but I know I need to show up. That's your integrity. All those things that you've been learning because you got a big new thing coming in. You've got something new coming into your life that's going to be very rewarding. You know, I don't really want to say big new thing because, you know what, it's a new thing. And it will be a big deal to you because you're going to love it. That's what I want to say. You're going to love it. So it's in something in the material world. It will be seen in the material world. You will love it. You will be able to take that coin that you're being given as a gift and grow it. You will be able to grow that coin. Yes. That's the reason for this reading. In your recent past, you were on the Chariot. You were, you were driven by divinity. The divine was driving you. It is your, you were being propelled toward who you are. That's what this is in your recent past. Propelled toward who you are. It was impending that you would reach this place where you'll be able to receive this coin. So it's like life was just like you were driven. And you know what? He's driving these horses. You know, he's got the reins in his hands on 4 horses, by the way. But really, the divine is driving those horses. And there is a relationship between that guy and the horses. It's like they understand each other telepathically. Whoa. A lot of people have gotten this card, and the energy that surrounds the reading, the energy that encompasses you at this time and this whole reading. Strength. Character building. You've been building character, huh? I hate character building. It's really hard work. But that's what's been happening for you. And you're in that energy. It's, you can't, it's like you never choose it. You never choose to have to be there, but you know what? You wouldn't have done anything, you wouldn't have done it any other way, because that strength card is really a nice place to be when the cycle is over. All right, I can't make this up. You're the first one to get this card in this round of readings, the Sun. This is in your future, your near future. You have the Sun card. Yeehaw. You deserve it, Aries. You've been really working hard. You got the Sun and the Moon. I wonder if the star is going to come out. This is your energy. This is the energy in your energy field right now, not knowing. When we get the Moon, we really need to accept that, the Moon, people become like lunatics during full moons and that. The tides ebb and flow according to the Moon. Our emotions ebb and flow according to the Moon cycles. Also, there is the unknown. It's a new cycle. What will the cycle bring? We don't really know what the outcome is going to be. I feel as though you, in this energy, are able to say, it's all right, I'm just going to relax and chill. I don't need to know what's coming because I just need to relax and chill out. And I think that's a good idea. The energy in your environment is the 7 of Pentacles. I'm not sure what I'm picking up. I'm not really sure what I'm picking up from this card, because I've never, when I first saw it, I thought he's thinking about stealing the money. And that's not what the 7 of Pentacles is about. But that's my first impression. He's thinking about stealing the money. I've never gotten that feeling from this card before. maybe he's just really tired because he's done all the work of, you know, he's had the rush on the tickets at the circus that day, and maybe he's just really tired and he's just sitting there at the ticket booth with his eyes closed, taking a little snooze. But he's got money on the counter there and he's got tickets there. And if he takes a snooze, people can just walk past him. So, and not that I think they would take the money, but they would just walk past him. And maybe somebody would, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is that you're unaware. So although you're tired and you need to rest, make sure you're resting at appropriate times. Try to get into some sort of a routine if that's possible. Get into a routine so that you're not taken off guard is what the message I'm getting. This is the energy around you. You don't have to be hyper alert. Just be on guard. Try to get into a routine so that you're not falling asleep in the middle of the day. Because I just sense that you might miss something important for you. Oh my God, I love this card. So this is your hopes and dreams. And I love this card. It's the Two of Swords. And the woman is sitting in the electric chair, right, with her two swords, and she's channeling that energy. She's receiving it, and she's keeping the flow going. It's not affecting her in the least. So it's as though, you know, they pulled the switch, and guess what? You took that, what was meant to kill you. Oh my goodness, Aries. You took what would have killed most people and channeled it for good. Oh my gosh, I love that. You took what would have killed most people and channeled it for good, all on your own with the help of your guides. No other, you know, on your own with the help of your guides, you just did this thing. You channeled that energy. Would have killed most people. Wow, that's amazing. What an amazing. Just goes to show how the type of power that you have, Aries. It's you know, we all have a power. Maybe we have power that's specific to the gifts that we have, whatever. But it's magical. This is magical. And you're going to be using this gift of being able to, on the fly, because you have really strong spirit guides who are working with you very closely, and you listen to them. You just do what you know, you follow your instincts. Okay, you want me to do this? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And look at the power it brings. And so it brings you heal. I'm going to say it brings you healing, and it brings other people healing. Yep. Oh yeah. The final card in the reading is the Nine of Wands. Setting boundaries. Setting your boundaries. Preparing to drop that burden because you're setting boundaries. You don't need to carry a burden because you're setting your boundaries. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. Nope, not doing that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to sit here and relax. And if you don't like it, well, what can I tell you? You know, you're setting your boundaries, and it comes very easily all of a sudden. I'm going to say all of a sudden it comes very easily now. So we started with the Eight of Cups, walking away from something that no longer works for you. It could be ideas, attitudes. It could be people, could be places, things, you know. You're walking away from something. I feel like you're walking away from, you know, that heavy burden you were carrying, that work that you had to do. Not that you chose it, but you had to do it, and it was the right thing to do because you have integrity. That's what you did. You are, you know, and it's crossed by the Five of Wands, which is, you know, for you, for this reading, it's internal, you know, conflict. You're beating yourself up. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Do not beat yourself up, Aries. Oh my God. You've just completed some incredible, probably the most incredible work of your life. So do not beat yourself up. Okay. Put that stuff aside. There is no room for that. No judgment for yourself. Great love for yourself. Honoring yourself. Reverence for yourself for what you just accomplished. You did amazing work. Ace of Coins. Got something new coming in. A new thing for you. Now that you've got this work done. A new thing. You're going to grow that coin. That's what you're going to do. That's the reason this reading is taking place, and it's showing us, what has happened along the way of this journey and what's happening now that your journey is over. You have the Chariot in your recent past being driven to get something done. You're getting it done. You're getting it done. You end up with the Strength card because you built a lot, you've gained a lot of learning from this experience you've been through. A lot of learning. And you know what? Once you know it, you can't not know it. Okay? Then you have the Sun. You're moving out. You're moving out, baby. And you got the Sun. So this is a card of innocence. I survived. And more than that, I love myself. I love life. I love everything. I'm so grateful. That's this feeling. That's the Sun. Then you have the Moon. This is your current energy for the week. A not knowing, feeling out of it. You might even be feeling a little lunacy. You have a lot of the shadow work going on. You have a lot of connection to the divine happening. You also have grounding to Mother Earth. So, when you have both, when you're like fully aligned, man, a lot of stuff can be coming through you. So you're receiving a lot of information, and you don't know where life is heading right now, and you don't need to. You're just gonna rest and relax. Do not fall asleep. Don't fall asleep at the wheel. I said that in a reading to somebody years ago. Don't fall asleep at the wheel. Try to get back into a regular routine so that you're not falling asleep while you're operating machinery or cooking and you burn, whatever. You're going to miss something if you fall asleep at a time when you were not intending to take a nap or to go to bed, okay? Because you're going to miss something there. Something's going to happen. You're going to miss it. And I see like something going, like right, just like that. But you'll miss it, and it's an important kind of flash across your eyes. You've hooked up with your spirit guides, and together you create some powerful energy, and you make some amazing, unbelievable things happen. That's what you got. That's what you got out of this. The number 9, you're setting boundaries. Yeah, no, I'm doing what I'm doing. Whatever you want to do, you do that. I'm not helping anybody. I'm not helping anybody for a really long time. I need a break from helping because you've been helping a lot for way too long. That's your reading. Okay, now I'm going to pull a card from Work Your Light Oracle. How can you work your light this week? Aries. Here you go. Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? You may feel like you did step up and lead. This is a whole other thing. This has to do with this. How are you being called to step up and lead? This is something you're going to be thinking about this week. I'm not taking that card because that's like, no. I'm sorry, but this card, I feel like it got stuck to that one. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? What is your soul calling you to do? These are very pretty cards. How have you been called to step up and lead, and what is your soul calling you to do? Well, you'll have plenty of time to think about that. Because believe me, if these things happen in God's time, it takes years, okay? So you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I have to start something new. No, it's not like that. All right, that's your reading, Aries. Thank you very much. I wish you a nice, restful week. All right, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.